I hope well. We're going to reconvene to open session at 6:08. We'll right to the allegiance. Tonight, we have a Bernie who is going to lead us. It is Keiko. I hope I got that right.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No action taken during closed session for us to report on. So we're going to move right now. The oath of office for newly elected members. You will administer the oath to each. Right to duly sworn. Here we go. Right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name. Solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Solemnly swear that I will support
And the Constitution of the State of California. Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States.
Constitution
And the Constitution of the State of California.
of the Constitution of California.
And I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
I take this obligation in or
Mental reservation or purpose of life. And that I will well and faithfully discharge my duties
I will well and faithfully discharge my duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Did you look and see? I'm sure with somebody that doesn't hear us, we get that. Like, oh, I think we don't have this.
Welcome. All right, now we move on to the organizational meeting procedures for December 17th. And for the next year, we're going to ask for a nominee for president of the Board of Trustees.
Nominate Pamela Starlson for president.
We have a motion, we have a first and a second. Any other audience? Are we happy with Pamela? And I will ask for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes? Single one.
Of course,
Vote passes 5-0. I'm going to ask for a nominee for the position vice president of the board of trustees. You did so well on the first one. You wanna-
I can do this one. I'd like to nominate Greg Teefy for the vice president.
A second. Motion. By Ms. Carlson. And so are we okay with Greg? All in favor, say aye. Aye. So. Thank you. One more. I'm gonna let Greg do this one, the nomination for clerk. Wow. I'm all for that, and I'll second that emotion. I mean, motion.
Mine.
Okay, let's do this. All okay with Keith. He's only been here for 20 some years. So I think we're happy with it. I'll ask for all favor, say aye. Aye. Here's a tough one. Approval of Superintendent Paul Marietti to serve as secretary. For the board of trustees. Motion. By Mr. Elfin, I have Mr. TP. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. We're gonna reseat officers. Because I like to make sure that the president of the board right in the center. Take a word to look. We're gonna change height. Holy cow, that is fucking unless you want to move.
I know.
Switch chairs. I'll switch.
Yeah, we'll do that. I don't wanna. Oops.
I heard that one too.
This thing doesn't have the option.
Now,
I might have-
it's coming around.
I might have to add it.
Because yeah.
Already wrong. There's-
On behalf of Lancaster School District, we'd like to present you with a little flag in honor of your board presidency over the past year. So
Check it, check it.
thank you so much for your service.
I've really enjoyed my past year. It's been a hospitalization year. I think I started off the new year at Antelope Valley Hospital with RSV. And went to surgery on feet and now I'm nearly healed again. Just in time, hand this over to Miss Starlson, who's been amazing in her year at Lancaster District. She's undertaken to do all of the school visits she can do. She's undertaken the food drive and does what she can to help with the school with the food drives. She's at most events, as many of the teachers and administrators can attest to. She's just an all-around great person. And I really appreciate her, and I think we got a winner when you voted for her last time. So thank you, Ms. Charlson, Ms. President.
Now that we've seen the office, establish the regular time and meeting days for the Board of Trustees.
So moved.
Second,
Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mr. Keeping. By Mr. Warren. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next, we move on to designate representative to the Los Angeles Committee of School Board of School District Organization in Los Angeles County Schools Trustees Association. Designated,
Dwayne would love to do this.
I would actually.
can I get a motion?
So moved.
By Mr.
I know what. So it's some easier.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Designate representative of Board of Trustees to serve as the Executive Board of the Antelope Valley School Board Association.
I'd like to go with Dwayne again.
Mr. Wade.
I accept.
Yes.
I guess.
Motion by Mr. Giles, second by Mr. Favor. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. I to designate Dr. Larry Freeze as a representative to the Antelope Valley Schools Transportation Agency with Dwayne Wynn as an alternate, serve on the school board of the Antelope Valley Schools Transportation Agency. I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Keating. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Designate Charles Coleman and Todd Coleman to serve as Title IX officers.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Nguyen.
Second.
Mr. Giles. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Appointment of Mary Ellen Butterworth, Administrative Secretary 3, Business Services as the appropriate officer to supervise the destruction of Class 3 records. Motion by Mr. Teepee, second by Ms. Julie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Adoption of Resolution 2024 to 2025, 21. Verification of authorized signatures. Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. What? 2020, 2024, 2025 fiscal stabilization plan. Motion? Oh, I'm sorry. That's it. Number 11, recognition, A, above and beyond.
We are here to recognize our Above and Beyond Award. This is an award that doesn't come up very often, but there are times where we see things that absolutely need to be acknowledged and recognized, and people who need to be acknowledged and recognized. So if I could call Michaela Goffigan up here, and I believe also our student and their parents. I believe you'd like to say a few words.
Oh, hi, I'm Sarah Roberts. I'm Javi's mother. Javi wrote this, and Shy, he wanted me to say lost his voice, but I said, let's be honest. Okay. I'll read his part first. It says, hello, everybody. I want to say thank you to Ms. Goffigan again for being the best teacher when I needed her the most. I was drinking water and suddenly I swallowed the bottle cap on accident. It was hard to breathe through my nose and mouth. I was scared about dying because my face was turning red. So I turned to my teacher and I could barely say her name, but I was doing the sign for choking. So she told me to get up and she helped me. She started to do the Heimlich maneuver and then I threw up the bottle cap. Then some of my friends went to get the nurse. Afterwards, my throat hurt and I still felt scared, but good. The next day I thanked Ms. Goffigan for saving my life. So I got a call that my son was sick. That happens often with young boys. And when I arrived at the school, they told me he wasn't sick, but he had actually swallowed one of the small bottle caps from the disposable bottles of water, and he had actually choked. And Ms. Goffigan had got up and gave him the Heimlich maneuver, and he was able to get that plus a lot more out. But I'm so grateful to her for having the training and the ability and the knowledge to be able to save them, because things like that you don't think about them, but something so small, and for her to move so quickly, we just really appreciate you and we love you, and you'll always be a very special.
Not to be talking to stand next to a whole lot of heroes. This is the Above and Beyond Award.
Michelle.
Sounded like 3 times.
Just speaking of recognition, before we move on to the next area, I would give some for my family and everyone else that was out there applauding, things like that. I really, really appreciate all of you. You know, most of you knew I came in here fresh and had absolutely no experience. And every time I go out to a school, every time I meet an administrator, every time I meet anyone that works with the district, around the district, the families that we touch, you know, that is what makes my job worth coming to every single day. And it's not just on Tuesdays. So if you know me, you're gonna see me out. I don't mind stopping. I don't mind talking, but I want to know I appreciate everything that you guys do every day. So I just wanted to give that shout out, you know, because I can only be up here doing what I do because my wife at home works really hard to help me take care of my mom, and my family really supports me, and all you guys constantly come up and support me. And so thank you very much. All right, we're moving on to informational items. We have the enrollment report, Mr. Priest.
The total UTK through 8th grade enrollment, so yesterday, 13,833 students. Early learning, school children, 421, for total enrollment of 14,254. This is a loss of 30 students from the last board meeting and a difference of 166 from the same last year. Of that total count, 1,097 recognized as homeless, 379 reported as foster youth.
Thank you. Move on to public disclosure of AB 1200 and 2024-25 proposed collective bargaining agreement with Teachers Association of Lancaster, unrepresented, confidential, and management. I'm sorry, Marietti.
Thank you. So Assembly Bill 1200 requires that when school districts reach a tentative agreement with a union, that the district is required to assess the financial impact of that agreement on the budget. Requires the district to publicly disclose the costs associated with that agreement, and not only for the present year, but the 3-year multi-year projection. It also requires school districts to submit to the County Office of Education steps in to submit the agreement to the County Office of Education, that they can look at the financial agreement and make sure it is viable. So we have taken all those steps, and we are able to provide the agreement that was reached.
I love to hear that. All right. Presentation request for proposal report. First interim budget report. Maria. How are you?
Good evening. Congratulations, Ms. Bauer. So blessed to have you. I am here to present the first interim report for the 24-25 fiscal year for the Lancaster School District. Okay. The first interim assumptions of the LCFF COLA statutory. I use this slide just to show you that the enacted budget COLA is exactly the same as the first interim COLA. So there's no changes on the budget. Then we're going to go over the stars and curves. I collected information for the 5 years. The current year, well, as you can see, the stars is plateauing, continue to plateau at 19-10%. And the PERS, 24-25, which are actuals, it had an increase of 0.37. Then 25-26, an increase of 0.55, and 26-27, an increase of 0.40. Please keep in mind that 25-26 and 26-27, the two subsequent years, are projections. They are subject to changes. All these numbers are pulled from the School Services of California. Now, I would like to go over with you on the state revenue sources, and this is all in millions. I separated the ongoing revenues and the one-time revenues due to the fact that we have been receiving one-time revenues for the past 4 years. So I think it is relevant for me to disclose this to you. The ongoing revenues are $235.93 million, which goes from the LCFF base, our biggest bucket, for $91.28 million, all the way to the community grant, $6 million. I chose to account for the community grant into the ongoing revenues, even though it's a grant that is only for 5 years, but we are on the second year. Therefore, we still have 3 more years to receive $6 million on that grant. Then we have the one-time revenues for the state revenues, which are ACEs from $1.76 million all the way to early literacy block grant for $1.44 million. Our total state revenues are $243.77 million as of the first interim report. Our federal revenues sources also in millions. I also separated by the ongoing and the one-time. The ongoing are $14.75 million, and mostly of those revenues are categoricals. Title I, $8.83 million, all the way to Title III, immigrant, or $0.26 million, so $260,000. And then we have the one-time revenues for the federal is 1.43, which are the CSI, the comprehensive support, 1.28, to the homeless ARP, which is ESSER, which is 0.07, which is $70,000. The total federal revenues in the first interim, or our first interim, is $16.18 million. So now all the revenue sources in millions, total state, 243.77, total federal, 16.18, total local revenue, which it's inclusive of SELPA, which is special ed, and IDA, $11.99 million. So all 24-25 districts revenues, $271.94. Now I would like to show you the unrestricted expenditures. The expenditures, I separated it by unrestricted and restricted. The unrestricted expenditures are also in millions. The total is 187.25, which $73.77 million are in certificated salaries, $32.41 million in classified salaries, and $46 million in benefits for both buckets. We have the supplies, which are the 4,000s, $9.76 million. The services, which are the 5,000s, $15.03, and the capital outlay, which are the 6,000s, are $10.27 million. As you can see, the capital outlay is a little high, and it's because we are budgeted the fourth phase of the HVAC. Our restricted expenditures also in $1 million, a total of 118.30, of which 23.52 are certificated salaries, 14.12 are classified salaries, and 19.6 for benefits for both buckets. We have the supplies, which are the 4,000s, $21.87 million. The services, which are the 5,000s, $32.1 million. And the capital outlay, $7.09. As you can see, the supplies and services are a little high, and it's because we are liquidating ELOP funding for prior years, and also we liquidated ESSER, all the ESSER funds as of September 30th, 2024. All expenditures in millions for our district, total unrestricted expenditures, 187.25. Total restricted expenditures, 118.30. All 24-25 districts budgeted expenditures, 305.55. So we have revenues 271, expenditures 305. We have a deficit spending, and I will show you why. It's because we're liquidating funding that was received in prior years. So our 24-25 fiscal year and the multi-year projection, everything is in dollars. As we went over, the revenues are 271.94, the expenditures 305.57, of which 209.42 are salaries and benefits. Then our fund balances, we begin the fiscal year with $163.89 million as the beginning fund balance. Then we have a net decrease of 33.63 at deficit spending dollars for prior years, leaving us with an ending fund balance of 130.26. Out of that, 130.26, the components of the ending fund balance are the restricted, 85.89, and we have assignments previously approved by the board from textbook adoption commitments all the way to 1 month salaries and benefits. And after those, we have a reserve for economic uncertainties of $15.86 million, which is equivalent to a 5.19% available reserve for economic uncertainties on the first year. On the second year, 25-26 is a projection. Our revenue are projected to be 264.99. Reason why is because we're not going to receive one-time funds anymore, and they're not budgeted anymore. Then we have the expenditures as of 284.27, of which 213.27 are salaries and benefits. As you can see, the increase from prior year is only step and column, which is 2%. Our total expenditures, 284.27. Our fund balances, the ending fund balance from 24-25 carries over as the beginning fund balance for 25-26 as of 130.26. Our deficit spending on the middle year is 19.28, leaving us with an ending fund balance of 110.98. The components of the ending fund balance are restricted 71.59, where you can see that the restricted went from 85 to 71. So that's $14.3 million that were liquidated on the restricted. We have the assignments, and after the assignments, the reserve for economic uncertainties are $10.68 million, giving us a 3.76 available reserve for economic uncertainties. On the third year out, which is a projection as well, our revenue goes up again, and that's due to COLA. COLA now is projected to be over 3%. So our revenues go to 271.11. Our expenditures 290.54, of which 216.75 are salaries and benefits, of which is represented only an increase of 2% step and column from prior year. Our beginning fund balance is now carried over from the ending fund balance from prior year, $110.98 million. Our deficit spending is 19.43, and it's all restricted. We're not overspending on the unrestricted. And on the restricted, we're overspending because we're spending and liquidating grants. We have a total ending fund balance of 91.55, of which the components are 52.19 on the restricted. As you can see, last prior year, 71.59. This year, 52.19 equals 19.43. And then we have all the assignments. At the end of all the assignments and the restricted, our total reserve for economic uncertainties is $10.37 million, which equates to 3.57%. Now, our district is certified positive, so it has a positive certification. Our district is required to have a 3% reserve for economic uncertainties due to our ADA. Any district that has more than 1,000 students is required to have 3%. Our multi-year projection assumptions is the COLA, as I went over with you, remains the same as the budget. Our one-time restricted revenues are included in the first interim. Our ADA budgeted, I didn't change anything. I actually used the last P2, the last certified P2. When our new P2 gets certified, then our ADA will be changed. Our one-time federal funds were liquidated as of September 30th in compliance with federal guidelines. Our phase 4 HVAC replacement is fully budgeted. Our future obligations, which are our assignments, are including 1 month of salary for the whole district, because we have deferrals. Our step and column is budgeted. Negotiations is ongoing, therefore is not included into the first interim. Any questions?
Just had one question, going back to the slide before. Restricted on the third year out. I know it looks like it went down another 19. That's just basically, is that the end of all the restricted funds going away? Or, I mean, it went pretty hard down. It went, 14 and then 19. So that's part of the deficit spending, but is the restricted going down again the year after that?
Yes, and the reason why is because I don't know if you remember when I percent of the budget. ELOP now
Right.
is giving us 2 years
Right,
to liquidate, and now they're giving us $24 million each year.
right.
So you always will see a deficit spending, but we are very conservative. We are only deficit spending on the restricted
Okay,
side.
well, that's what it keeps going down. It kind of makes me a little scared, but as long as you're sure that.
Yes, no, and we have the fiscal stabilization plan that you will be approving, which LACO has used an example to other districts. So we are very conservative, and we have assignments also for any uncertainties that we have.
Thank you. Appreciate the report.
Any other questions? Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Individual action items. Adoption of resolution 2024-2025-20 board member compensation for this meeting by Dwayne Long, November 19, 2024.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Dial. Second by Mr. Keating. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Motion passes 4-0. And 1 abstention. Over of nominations for California Schools Board Association, CSBA Delegate Assembly. Motion by Mr. Williams. Second by Mr. Teepee. All in favor?
Well, there's the 3 people are listed, but I would go ahead and nominate all 3. They're all good delegates because I've worked with them for a long time, but unfortunately, because of the loss of our attendance, we're going to lose a delegate. So while I would support all 3 of them, we're petitioning CSBA to keep all 3, but I don't know if we're going to win that or not. So they'd have to change their bylaws. So say every one of those are good. I think 2 are from Lancaster and 1's from Santa Clarita. So the hard part is if we eliminate one of them here, then I don't know. I think we should support all 3 of them, and then we'll have to sort it out later. That's my recommendation. And the 3 are it's give me on the thing. It's what are the 3? You have them in front of you. It's Julie Bookman. It's I think it's Charisse Moore. Okay, it's good. Okay, so it's Sharon Vega. Right. So Sharon Vega is the local one, and the other 2 are from Santa Cruz. Those 3 are the ones that we nominated, right? Right. Okay.
All in favor? Well, we did the motion.
The motion with
Motion was
Wayne.
Mr. Nguyen and second one. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Public hearing, appeal of district's determination on the bid protest filed in the matter of modular classroom buildings and modular toilet building project at Lincoln Elementary High School. The board will make it. So this hearing will open at 6:45 p.m. The public hearing will be conducted as follows. We will first take comments from the public if they have submitted a speaker card. Once all comments have been received, we will open the public hearing. We will then ask the protesting contractor to present its case. Contractor will be allowed 6 minutes to speak. Once the contractor has finished, the district will present its information. After the conclusion of the district position, protesting contractor will only have 1 minute to rebut. Once all parties have presented, The public hearing will be closed and the board meeting will continue to item 16A.
There are no speaker cards. So protest, we can move to the protesting contractor that requested the hearing, in this case, Coast Construction. This will be their opportunity to present their case, so we invite them to come to the microphone at this time. Good evening. Rise here. Good evening, honorable members of the staff. Appreciate this opportunity to educate our reasonings for requesting a vote to the award modular project, which is FM 3103. First and foremost, I want to say Coast Construction Group, formerly Wilbur Stevens Construction, has decades of providing exceptional construction projects supporting Lancaster School District, including modernization of its board. Whatever the outcome, the board of directors decides on this one, its construction group will accept the findings. As mentioned previously, Coast Construction Group was initially the lowest bidder on this project. However, the preliminary award was protested by contracting based on the alleged failure of Coast Construction Group providing pre-qualified mechanical, electrical, and plumbing subcontractors as dictated by the solicitation documents set forth by the district. The reasoning for our rebuttal to this protest submitted on the aforementioned project lies within two separate and distinct findings. Number one, and the solicitation documents for the Lincoln Modular project calls for pre-qualified MEPs, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing pursuant to Assembly Bill 1565. However, AB 1565 mandates the use of pre-qualified MEPs if the following criteria met. Number one, the project is valued at $1 million or more. And number two, it is funded whole and in parts of state facility bond funds. Our stance on this project is that this project failed to meet the necessary criteria to mandate the use of qualified MEPs, and therefore is not subject to the pre-stated requirements. Part two of our stance is there's a technical conflict as all correspondence and solicitation from the district to all prospective bidders references only AB 1565 of the qualified bidders list. However, links provided by the district to all prospective bidders only reference AB 2031 qualified bidders list. There were no addendums or no directives stating that AB 2031 superseded the qualified list of AB 1565. In closing, Coast Construction Group feels that the combination of the project value threshold not being met $1 million and the conflicted directives of both the pre-qualified bidders list under AB 1565 and 2031 to provide ample information making determination to either award this contract to the original local bidder, Construction Group, or to put this out for rebid. So that's all we have there. So I thank you for your time. If you have something. Thank you very much for your time. At the this time, the district would like to explain its position as it refers to this particular protest. We've had our attorney review the bid documents, original protest put forth by Medallion, and then the counter letter put forth by Coast. The interpretation of our attorney, the district required pre-qualification in accordance with the instruction to bidders. The fact that the project bids came in below the $1 million statutory threshold under Public Contract Code Section 20116 does not exempt bidders from adhering to the district's explicit requirements. So the district's instructions to bidders imposed an independent pre-qualification requirement for all MEP contractors. This requirement required apply to all bidders regardless of the final amount. So the district is required to meet the minimum standards as set forth in public contract code. This does not preclude the district from setting a standard greater than outlined in public contract, which is in essence what we did. We set a more rigid standard. Coast failed to inquire about the increased standard prior to submitting its bid, and rightly so. Medallion pointed out failure of Coast to demonstrate pre-qualification of its two of their mechanical, electrical, and plumbing contractors. And in the eyes of the district, initially we submitted disqualification to Coast for being a non-responsive bidder. In other words, they didn't have all the documentation in order. So it is the district's position still that we are allowed to set a standard greater than public contract code. Can't go less, but we can certainly set a higher standard. And indeed, we did that in our documents. And we take the position that a failure of Coast to pre-qualify two of its bidders caused them to be considered non-responsive. And we are then required to move to the second bidder, in this case, Medallion.
Host can rebut up to 1 minute. You choose to take the opportunity. We move on to close the hearing. And will be closed at 6:53 p.m. Now we move on to individual approval of final decision on appeal of district's determination on bid protests in the matter of 3 modular classroom buildings and 1 modular toilet building project at Lincoln Elementary School. Go to Medallion.
Okay.
I get a motion? Okay. Motion is by Mr. TP. Second. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Very much, Counts, for your time. Chair. Move on to approval of 2024 to 2025 fiscal stabilization plan.
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Usler. Second by Mrs. Usler. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Adoption of resolution 2024-2025, 22, approving the uncommitted fund balance of technology upgrade. Motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Nguyen. Second by Mr. T. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Adoption of resolution 2024-2025, 23, annual accounting of developer fees for fiscal year 2024-2025 in Fund 25.0. Motion?
I'll move.
Motion by Mr. Giles, second. Second by Mr. TP. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Individual action items, education services. Approval of ratification of agreement for services with Math Science of Central Los Angeles. Motion? Motion by Mr. Keepy. Second by Mrs. Booth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Individual action items, human resources. Of interim principal, Santiago.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Nguyen. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Just want to thank Mr. Mesa for coming up and been at Joshua for a few weeks now, and he's been doing outstanding. Thank you for stepping up.
Addressing the board. Individuals who wish to address the board may complete a speaker card and present it and any supporting documents to the superintendent's assistant or other district official prior to the start of the meeting. Personal information such as a student, parent, guardian's name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, or directory information as defined in the Education Code 49061 may be excluded from the minutes of the meeting by submitting a written request to the superintendent. The board president shall recognize individuals who wish to speak. Individuals wishing to present testimony to the board concerning specific items on the agenda may do so once that item has been moved, seconded, and is on the floor for discussion. Time limits of 3 minutes per person, 20 minutes per item shall be allowed. Board bylaws 9322. Board members may ask questions for clarification purposes. However, no action may be taken and no discussion may take place on any item not on the posted agenda. Brown Act. Comments from PTA, CSEA, TAO.
Everyone. Congratulations, Pamela, for the position of president of the board. I look forward to working with you and the rest of you as well. Julie, welcome to the board. I look forward to getting to know you in this new capacity and working with you as well. I don't have a lot tonight. Happy to hear that AB 1200 is going along smoothly, and we look forward to that coming to the board for approval in January. Also, I just, want to wish everybody a happy holiday season. I know the year has been a little crazy for all of us, but we're all going to move into this well-deserved break and hopefully come into the new year with some renewed energy. And I'm very optimistic about this new year, and just looking forward to continuing to work with the kids and work with the community and staff to improve the district and make it better for all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Always a pleasure.
And there are no speaker cards this evening.
All right, consent agenda items. Intended items 20A through 20K.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Nguyen. Second by Mrs. All in favor?
Oh,
Yes, sir. Of course.
PSEA. Chapter 297. donated $5,000 to coats, our coat drive. That is totally amazing. That with the Knights of Columbus, Rotary Club, early Jeanette Tiger. Early for quite a few years. And Jorge and Lauren Garcia. Those went on to make our coat giveaway outstanding. We had probably 4 or 5 families come in with their children, with students from our schools to get those coats. Coats were mostly new. So my thank you to all of those that made those kind of donations to our district. We are such a blessed district to have people like these doing the thing. And then we have people like Ms. Starlson who goes to those events, helps out Dr. Mariani, Art Hoffman, come to almost every one of those events. Larry Freeze. It's just amazing how our district supports all of this. I couldn't be happier. Thank you.
I just want to add also our own Joyce Mayberry also donated. Want to put her name in the mix.
All right, with all that awesomeness said. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, business items 21A through 21B. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor? All right. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, education services, items 22A through 22. Motion by Mr. Teepee. Second by Mr. Giles. We have any concerns or questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, human resources services, items 23A through 23C. Get a motion? Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mrs.
Just another shout out to us getting a 0. That means all of our school books, textbooks, classrooms inspected by the Williams Committee. There were no findings. Which is outstanding.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Consent agenda items, student and family resource, student and family services, items 24A through 24E. Can I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mr. Teepee. Comments or concerns?
question for the mariachi, musical mind, music for your mental health. Those all coming out of the.
I believe these would be coming out of Sam is here. Is it mariachis, the musical minds, those are LLP? Ah, here comes Erie Robertson to tell us more.
Good evening, Mary.
Out of CLP, Musical Harm is one of the groups that are, they do a little bit more than the name is one, but they're one of the groups that are working in our middle school, and they are running our podcast club. They push into the everyday after school and all five middle schools. The mariachi is the mariachi team that works between Linda Burdick and Discovery. And so we are renewing this and then expanding a little bit more. I am not with the formal program.
So the music for your mental health is coming out of our community schools grant.
We have you and Denver, Lincoln, Mariposa, Miller, Nancy Corey, Yaron, Vista, Purdue, and this resource.
Is that a weekly, monthly, daily?
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Eric. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Legislative and policy discussion.
Any questions? This is typically just new laws, new updates.
That's it. We'll have comments from the board. Superintendent. So we'll start out. Yeah.
Thank you guys that are all still here, and enjoy your Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope you enjoy your break. I know, I look for the little quietness in between there, even though the kids are home. So but anyway, it's nice. Thanks to Dwayne for his year of service. We enjoyed his presidency. Welcome to Julie to be on the board. We're excited. I think when I first got on the board in 1997, you were principal at this very site. That child is now going to be around 40. So that seems like we were babies. We were like in middle school when she worked here. So it's been a while, but we're glad this year in this new position. I'm excited that Pamela gets to be the president. She did a great job on our first meeting. I know she sometimes is, sweats a little bit, but she does great. She'll be fine. And I like her pace. So I'm looking forward to that. Wanted to thanks Maria for her presentation. Thank you so much for taking care of us with the budget. We always like that. And comments. I really kind of felt for the post. I mean, Stevenson's done a lot of good work for us. Hopefully they'll want to do some more for us again, and they'll make sure that all that stuff that we require is done for us. I guess better safe than sorry, and that's what we're going with. And I hope there's no hard feelings there, and I hope they want to rebid the next one. And we're always ready for that lowest bid. So, and I know they're a good company. We've used them quite a bit of times. It's Medallion. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Hey, tonight. I'm happy to be back. Did a lot of board meetings prior to this one, but this is different. So I'm really happy that
I chose to make the movement forward and I was allowed to. I'm not gonna say a whole lot tonight. I'm still kind of processing. Thank you much. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Oh, and happy holidays to everybody. I will say that. And, you know, enjoy your family time, enjoy your time off. Crazy things will happen again.
Well, it was a great year. I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad all the board members took get a chance to be the president. It's a whole different thing for the president of the school board. What I really want to say is thank you for the teacher that was here that saved that young man's life. That is what our district is all about. We are here to help, to go above and beyond. I'm disappointed that our numbers continue to decline in the attendance. I think that maybe as if we get closer to the end of the year, they decline, and then as the new year picks up, they will increase. I hope it. Thank you, Maria, for your first interim budget. No changes, which is good. That's really good. Thank you, as I said earlier, for all the donations that came from all of our vote drive participants. A youth truth survey out. And I hope if you get a copy in your email that you do take part in that. It's good to find out what Jordan will have, what his spin's gonna be on it when we see it. And it's usually pretty good. I mean, it can only be what it is. So we're looking forward to the outcome. And have a happy holiday. Enjoy your next, after this week, the next 3 weeks off, unencumbered by anything except Santa Claus, and have a nice holiday.
Thank you, everyone. Ditto what was said. Mr. Wynn, good job this past year. We enjoyed your leadership and steering our district. And Pamela, congratulations on the position. You're a fantastic job. And Julie, welcome. Nice to have you on this side for the board meetings. And it's great to see our budget be strong. And thank you, Maria, for helping make that happen and making it so easy to understand. And also, it was nice. We attended the CSBA conference and learned a lot of different things. I look forward to trying to implement some of the things we learned there. And thank you, Gina, for a great report, and happy holidays to teachers and staff, and really deserve it. Had a lot of work so far, and I look forward to this next year. I'm excited.
Yeah, I want to thank Mr. Wynn for his service as our president. Really appreciate that, and we look forward to our new president, Nelson. I'd like to welcome Whistler to the board. It's nice to have someone a lot of knowledge of our district and of education in general, so that's a real plus for us. And for our certificated staff, our classified staff, all of our administrators, our coordinators, our directors, everybody at our district, I want to acknowledge the hard work they put in this year. Although schools don't really function on regular school years, the end of our year is June 30th, but we want to acknowledge the work that's been done. We look forward to taking a nice step back, taking a breath and spending time with our families, and then coming back to the new year recharged and ready to go. So I appreciate and thank you for everything you've done for our kids and our families.
Dr. Marion. Being said, I always tell, you guys that I completely appreciate everything that our staff, district, and our teachers and our classified, certified will do, and that we're all superheroes, but there's nothing more super than the ability to say one of us. So just every single person counts, right place, right time. Just a miracle. Maria, thank you as usual. You always do a fabulous job at giving us a great report. And just an excellent in helping make sure our district stays on task and meet the levels that we need to meet, exceed, so that we can always support ourselves with issues. So again, appreciate everything. Welcome, Mr. I look forward to working with you as well. We have a board up here, and I appreciate everything as far as helping me, to become stronger as a board member, as well as being in this position. I know that I'll have, and I'm sure that you that as well. Again, our staff has done a remarkable job in all the events that we've had lately. We've had the toy drive that we just had last week. We had our coat drive that Mr. Lynn pointed out was absolutely phenomenal. Just being able to provide everything that we provide with our community, with our ELOP, with all of our donations from the outside, all of our different seed programs, just everything that we do here could not be done without the staff that we have. So I know we just had our first hip hop bingo that took place a couple weeks ago, that everyone, no one knew what was coming, but everyone loved what showed up. So that's awesome. And then from what I understand, there's going to be another one this spring. So that's going to be awesome, as well as have our Black Knowledge Bowl coming up in, I believe it's February. So that's also going to be something to look forward to. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to get out at our winter programs, we have so many that are taking place all over the district this week. So if you look at the calendar and you can find one that you're close to, just get out there and support our kids and support our staff that's working really hard at putting that on. And I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate it. Also, congratulations to our Coleman duo. You guys do an awesome job, so I appreciate that. And thank you, Gina, for everything that you do as far as supporting our teachers and making some great appreciation. Making that easy, it takes a team. So that being said, thank you so much for everybody. Mr. Freeze. Holiday. Okay. Everyone out there, have a wonderful holiday. Do make it back safely. All of you here in January. So, excuses, I'll be here. All right. So with that, we're going to recess to close session at. Oh, that's right. We do not have to go back. So we are just going to leave. All right. So we're going to adjourn at 7:20 p.m. Can I get a motion? Second by Mr. T. Second by Mr. Nguyen. Any opposed? No one's ever opposed. All right, all in favor. Motion passes 5-0. See you next year.